Hi guys, I'm Lizzie.
I'm Matt.
And we created our own paranormal group called Spectral Ops. And what our mission for our team is going to be is we're going to do a lot of stuff with vets, so like invite them on investigations. And then further down the line, we're going to start doing events where we'll sell tickets to do investigations, and then those proceeds will go to veteran charities or military charities or whatever. But right now, we're just now starting out, and our first investigation is actually going to be at Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois. We have actually already investigated there before. So the point of this video is to give you some history on the place, and then our experiences that we experienced, so that whenever we do go, we're going on July 17th, you have some background. So if there are some instances that overlap or some evidence that overlaps from the last time we went and this time, you guys will kind of have a background on that, and you won't just be wondering what we're talking about when we're talking about the last time we went. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the history of the place. The Mineral Springs Hotel was originally founded by the Lohr brothers. They actually bought the place to open an ice storage plant in 1909, but when they started construction on the building, they actually found water running through the basement, and the water had this weird smell, and they found out it was sulfur. And so this water was known to have medicinal qualities, so they kind of took advantage of that, and they actually started bottling it. So it started out in 1913 as a water bottling plant for the water that they would ship out and sell to people for its medicinal qualities. And then they actually built the hotel on top of it. The hotel had about 100 rooms, and it was kind of an Italian villa style. I'm getting this information off a website called Bump in the Night. It's actually run by American Hauntings Tours, and so go check them out if you want like the full history. I'm just kind of doing a summary. The American Haunting Tours, they actually sell tickets to do events and stuff, and me and my sister have actually been to a few. So it's pretty cool. Go check them out if you're just now getting into this and you need a way to be able to get into investigations and stuff. So the hotel was in its heyday throughout the late 1910s and early 1920s, and then it was eventually sold by one of the Lohr brothers in 1926, but it continued as a hotel until the 1960s, but that's kind of around the time it started to deteriorate, so it officially closed in 1971, and then in 1978 it was bought and restored by Roger Schubert, and it finally became viable again in the 2010s. But mostly now, Roger made it into a shopping mall, which is what it is now. But they make a lot of their money with ghost tours and stuff like that. So we are going to kind of give you an overview of the ghosts that are said to be there, and then what we specifically experienced. So one of the spirits on the top floor, her name's Pearl. And it is said that Pearl killed herself. She jumped from the window because she thought her husband was having an affair. It turns out he was not. He was actually just gambling. Then another one of the spirits is kind of upstairs. She's on the stairs, but her name is Mary, but she's also known as the Jasmine Lady. What the story surrounding her is that her and her husband were staying at the hotel, and one day when he wasn't there, she brought another man up to the room, and her husband came home and found them and then chased her. They're not sure whether she was pushed or if she fell down the stairs, and this is documented that there's a death certificate for her, but it's not determined if her husband pushed her or if she fell down the stairs. Now Pearl, she does not like men. She mostly interacts with women. Mary, on the other hand, she more so interacts with men because of her past. The reason she's known as the Jasmine Lady is because it's said that she was wearing jasmine perfume when she died, and a lot of people smell jasmine perfume when they're in that area on the stairs. Now, this is another spirit that's said to be there, which isn't actually documented. Her name is Cassandra, and she's in the pool area, and it's said that she's a young girl that drowned in the pool when she was staying at the hotel. This is not documented, but there's a lot of evidence that leans towards a little girl spirit, so that's where people are kind of confused. But there is documented evidence of a young boy dying there. I think he was 17. He drowned in the pool. There is documented evidence. I'm pretty sure it's on display at the hotel. But none of the evidence really supports a young male. Also in the pool area, there's like a little back section where there's another room. There's said to be an evil spirit named William. He's supposed to be not very nice. We didn't really have that experience, but that's just what is said. And then in the sub-basement, the very bottom where the bottling manufacturing took place, is said to be like a tall, slender, dark figure. That's also not very nice, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Another spirit that when doing my research, I have not found anybody talk about, but what we were told is that there's a spirit of a soldier that's also on the second floor. I don't remember why he was there or like exactly where he comes from. I just, so when we went with a group called Gateway Paranormal Team. They were running an event there. Go check out their video because Brandon does a tour of the place and all the spirits and stuff, and he does a really good job explaining the history so you can get a more detailed history and spirits there. I'm just kind of giving a summary. I'll link that video below. But each level we had a professional that was with us, and on the second floor we were with a guy who said that there was a soldier there. I don't know if there's any actual evidence of that, but that's just what we were told, and that will make more sense when we start getting into our actual experience. So the first place we went was the second floor where all the hotel rooms used to be. And we went to Pearl's room. Now, we weren't getting a lot from her. We did have our K2s, but they were kind of sporadic. They were kind of going on and off. But what you have to understand is on the second floor, it's all run down. There's no walls. It's just all wood, like the framework, basically. So there are exposed electrical wires and stuff like that. So we're not 100% sure if our K2s were picking up on that or what. The weird thing about it was our K2 stayed in one spot. We put it on the floor. We did not move it. We weren't moving around the room. So for it to be sporadic, we can't say whether that's paranormal or not. But it is odd because it was just going off randomly. And at one point, the investigator asked, if you want us to leave your room, we'll leave, but light up the K2, and it did, so we left. The weird thing about that is we were in a group of, it was me and my sister and 3 other men, so that could be why she didn't really want to interact with us, because she does not like men. So then we went down the hallway to another room, and during this session, the professional that we were with was doing dowsing rods, and he was speaking with this soldier spirit, asking him where he was from. I don't remember exactly. I will also link that video below because I think his name was Dan. He has a video of these sessions throughout the night, so you can kind of see what was being said. This part I'll kind of give to Ashley because this was her experience. But while we were sitting there, I saw my sister make a weird face out of the corner of her eye. Now what you have to understand is we do a lot of talking with our faces. We can talk without saying anything. So when I saw her make the face, I knew she had seen something, but I didn't want to call her out in front of everyone. I was just going to ask her later. So I'll let her explain what she saw. What you have to understand is across the hallway there was another room, and there was paranormal equipment in there, so there were lights and stuff in there, so you could kind of see into the room a little bit. And I'll go ahead and let her explain.
So we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, from the corner of my eye, I could have sworn I saw a shadow walk by. Now, once again, this was maybe yours too, first
real
major investigation. And this was our first area. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, did I really see something, or am I just, scared? So I'm thinking I see something, but literally, right after I see the shadow, you hear a dragging noise. In that room where I see the shadow across the floor, you just hear a dragging noise.
And we all heard it. Everybody in our group heard it. We all looked. We all were like, what was that? So we went across the hall to figure out what it was. I was the first person that walked into the room, and I saw a piece of scrap metal on the floor. It was probably just there from the building. It's, like I said, it's run down. So I told everybody to wait in the hallway, and I kicked it, and I said, is that what we heard? And they said, yes, that's exactly the noise we heard. So she saw that shadow moving in that direction, and then we heard the metal scraping the floor.
And it was literally right after I had seen the shadow. It was
that's she. I did not know. We did not know she had seen anything. Well, I knew she saw something, but I didn't know what she saw. So when I said that metal was on the floor, she said, okay, I didn't want to say anything, but right before we heard that noise, I saw something in here. So that was already weird. So we decided to stay in there because obviously there was stuff happening. So we continued with the dowsing rods, and the soldier kind of took a liking to me and my sister. Kind of showing off, if you will. The guy was asking him, is there anything here that's going to hurt us? It said no. He said, okay, well, with you being the gentleman that you are, if there is something here that's going to hurt us, I would suspect that you would protect these women. And it said yes. Well, as soon as that happened, me and my sister were on separate sides of the room. I heard a loud like sigh, like a and it sounded like a man. It sounded like it came from the hallway. Well, me and my sister instinctively made eye contact. And the guys that we were with saw us, and they said, well, did you hear anything? Now, what you need to know is we did not say a word to each other.
No, we are opposite sides of the room. We are not even near each other.
And I said, did one of you guys make a loud sigh?
And as soon as she said that, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I heard. It was like somebody, that's the exact noise.
And they acted like they didn't even hear it. They were like, well, we didn't make that noise. And they acted like they didn't even hear it. It was only us two that heard that. So that was weird, only because it seemed that the soldier was taking a liking to us being women and him being a soldier. So I'm assuming that's kind of why we were the only ones who were able to hear it. After that, we went down to the main floor. It's like the ballroom and stuff like that. We didn't really have anything happen to us there. It was too noisy. There's people walking in and out, going to different areas. So we didn't get much there. Then we went to the pool with Brandon. Now, the ghost, like I mentioned, is Cassandra, that's said to be down in that area. Now, she's a mother. I am now a mother, but I wasn't at the time. But I worked with children. I worked at a daycare. So we were sitting in the pool, and she had a K2, and the spirit was interacting with her. The K2 was going crazy. She would say, can you come light it up? And it would light up and stuff like that. Well, while we were doing this, we heard a loud bang coming from the area where William is said to be. Now, there's a door back there. When we found out, the loud bang was the door slamming. We were the only people down there.
Yeah.
So there was nobody down there that could have slammed the door. So we went back there. And back there, they say the spirit is evil, but I didn't really get that vibe. I didn't feel afraid of him. But he was we all three had K2s. Me, my sister, and there was another guy in our group. We all had K2s, and we were asking it, can you light up this K2? When we'd ask, it would light up. We'd say, can you light up this K2? When we did, it would ask. Well, Brandon eventually said, okay, if you want us to leave your area, you have to light every single K2 up to red. And it did. It started with Ashley, then me, then the other guy. It went all the way up to red, so we left. We kept our word. So, on the regular investigation, the last place we went, and the fact that it's the last place we went will be very important in a second, was the sub-basement. Now, this was probably one of the scariest experiences I've ever had. I'm investigating. So we went down to the basement, and it's pitch dark. There's no windows. You're underground.
Yeah, you can't see anything. You can't even see the person hardly standing next to you.
They had to have a floodlight at the bottom of the stairs so that we could see to get down there, and then someone would turn it off. And we were investigating.
So already it's an eerie feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Going down there.
Yeah. So we had a bucket, and we had a K2 sitting on a bucket, and we were all surrounding it. It was me and my sister, the guy in our group, and then a professional. And we were standing there, and all of a sudden, I started having a panic attack. Now, the reason that it being our last stop of the night is important is because it's not like I was scared because I was ghost hunting. It's not like I was scared because this is the first place we went and like I'm just trying to get used to it.
And then keep in mind, at this time, nothing is happening down here. Nobody else is feeling this. There's not like we're hearing noises or something happened to make her start feeling this way. We were literally just talking to each other because nothing was going on at all. So
yeah. And I hadn't felt like this at all the rest of the night. Even when we were on the second floor and we had all the experiences we were having, I didn't feel afraid. And so my body was shaking. I was having a hard time breathing. I remember at one point just closing my eyes and all I could think was like, I just want to turn the lights on. I just want to get out of here. And I didn't want to say anything at first because I thought I just was like, okay, I'm being a scaredy cat. So like I just didn't say anything. But eventually I just asked like, is anybody else feeling freaked out? And everybody else was like, no, we don't feel anything. We feel fine. Well, around this time I started feeling like my neck was itching. Now you can see, I bite my nails. So I don't have any nails. But I wasn't even itching with my nails. I was just kind of like rubbing my neck. Because it was itching. Well, finally we went back upstairs and we were in like the meeting area where we would like meet before we went to the next section. And I was like, man, my neck hurts. It was burning.
And so I'm like, well, let me look at it. And I pulled her hair back and there was a scratch mark all the way down her neck.
Yeah, so I don't know. Again, I can't guarantee this is paranormal. I mean, I didn't scratch myself. I know that for sure.
And it wasn't there until we went to the basement. Or at least, yeah.
I didn't feel it anyway.
But it looked fresh because when she moved her hair back, it was still red from where, like, irritated around it. So it was a fresh scratch mark.
Yeah. And so I don't know if that's why I was feeling the way that I was feeling, if I could feel that something was interacting with me. I still don't know if I feel like it was evil. I'm not 100% sure. They say that spirit down there is evil, is very, I wouldn't say demonic. I don't even know if it would be considered demonic, but it's just not nice. But I don't know if I even felt that. I mean, I don't know. With me freaking out, maybe I did. I still don't know. Yeah. I gotta do more investigating when we go. I'm gonna go back down in there. So then after that was finished, they said, okay, you can go wherever you want. You can go to whatever section of the hotel you want to, but you just have to make sure you have a professional there with you. So we asked the guy that was in the sub-basement with us, the professional, if he would go with us to the second floor again, because that's where we had all of our experiences. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, sure, because he had to stay in the same area all night. So he went up with us. We went to Pearl's room. So it was me, my sister, the guy that was in our group, and then the professional. Now, we went into Pearl's room. We were all sitting down. There's 2 chairs in there, and then the guys were sitting on the floor. And nobody's moving. There's no other groups up there with us. That's important to understand. We were the only group up there.
And it's so spaced out that you can't hear anybody below you. There's no contamination at all when you are there.
So we're sitting there, and we can hear clear as day footsteps walking around the edge of the room. So kind of like in the other rooms behind us. Like I said, this is just the framework at this point in the hotel. There's no walls. There's no anything. It's just framework. So we can hear footsteps walking around the outskirts of the room. And it was clear as day. It wasn't just like the boards were creaking. No. You could hear the pressure from the foot. And we were all like, it was like she wanted to interact, but she didn't want to get too close. So she was just kind of like checking us out. Like, what are they doing? And like I said, there was no other groups up there, so it wasn't like other people walking around. No. I think that was about it, though, for our night. Yeah. So we're going to go back there on July 17th. It's going to be my sister, me, my husband, and then her friends, who are all women. So hopefully we'll have more luck with Pearl when we're there, because we will only have one man in our group. Because she seemed like she wanted to interact, but she was afraid. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to get more out of Pearl when we're there. I'm going to go back down in the sub-basement, even though I'm going to be terrified, but I'm going to do it. So let us know if there's any places specifically that you want to see us investigate. We're going to try to do maybe one, like every other month, go on an investigation. It's really hard since we have children and we need babysitters and stuff. Let us know if there's any places you want to see us investigate. Keep in mind, we live in Missouri, so we're trying to stay in the surrounding states because we cannot go very far with our children. So like Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, Oklahoma, Kansas, anything surrounding Missouri, Arkansas even. So go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel and let us know if there's any places you want to see us do. If there's any content that you'd like to see, because we can show like our setup process, we can do interviews, we can do bloopers. Because we're pretty funny.
Took us forever just to film this video. So, yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. And let us know what you like to see. Thanks for all the support. We really appreciate it. Since we're new to this, it's going to be hard for us to kind of get into the community. So right now it's just us 3, me, my sister, and my husband. But eventually we're looking to maybe add some investigators. That would help with the cost. So yeah, if you're interested in joining, let me know and we'll talk. And yeah, so thanks for all your support, guys.